What is good, y'all? John D. Saunders here. You know the vibes. In today's video, I'm showing you 5 things every brand guideline needs to create a successful website. Let's dive in, y'all. So when it comes to brand guidelines, in a nutshell, brand guidelines are the brand Bible for your company. They talk about the typography, the vision, and the specifics of that. I'm showing you a client that we worked on about a year ago. They were recently acquired, called SwapStack. And here's what we provided to them in this brand refresh that we provided. Now, some of you are web design or development companies, so this might not cater to you specifically, but if you do receive brand guidelines, here are the things to look for that are gonna help you equate this to the web design and development process. So I'm gonna move my head over here and show you the 5 things. One is going to be logo usage. You always wanna provide examples of how the logo should look in a real environment. As you can see, we like to give some room on the logo space around it. 700 pixels plus on top and bottom, and then about 147 on the left and right side. We also show the logo mark and how it should be displayed on different background colors and overall look and feel. And then we also have the word mark here, which follows a similar criteria. So anyone that's doing any type of design or assets for this client needs to abide or adhere to these rules that we've set. Now, also, I like to show responsive versions of the logo so folks can get an understanding of what they're looking for. So logo usage is important, and specifically it ensures that the logo is used consistently with the brand across the board. 2 is going to be color palette. Now, color palette is pretty important because you want to make sure that any assets and any design things that you create all abide by these rules. This is the primary color palette for the client. Pretty simple. You can sometimes specify like secondary colors or third colors. I don't want to get too detailed and nuanced with this, trying to keep this as basic as possible. But essentially you want to provide a color palette with specific numbers so that way any users or team members can use this for their benefit. This helps maintain a cohesive look and aligns with the entire brand identity. Next up, of course, an important component is typography. Now, if I go here and zoom out a bit, I can find typography or font right here. Now, you want to specify how the font should be used. And again, this is a very simple brand guideline that we've implemented. General Sans, they're just using one primary font here. But as you can see, for any headlines, we're using this font, and this is the tracking and size. And then here is the like H3 or H4. And then we have the paragraph here as well. So this gives you a lineup and breakdown of what this guideline looks like and how the text should be used specific to the website. Another option, and I'll show you all this here as well, is photography. Now I've switched to another brand guideline that we provided for a client. As you can see, this one's a little bit shorter, but this one has a more robust and detailed color palette. But going back to imagery, what we do is we create an archive of images, and then we add a specific filter for that brand, whether it's a blue tint, brown tint, or we specify the type of people or the type of images they want to exude for the brand. This is really important because we have a specific photography style, and it helps create an emotional connection that supports the brand overall. You can use websites like Pexels, Pexel, or Unsplash to find some really great resources. We use a premium version of Unsplash Plus to go ahead and find our photography here as well. And then the last thing I will show y'all is just tone of voice and mission, or voice and tone. I think this is really important, especially when you're coming down to writing and creating visual content for clients. You want to make sure that the taglines, the headlines, the content on your website matches the tone of voice and mission for that client. So it's important to have those tools and assets in your brand guidelines, like we have here with the mission and tone of voice for the client. So again, 5 things that you want to, 5 things you want to focus on: logo usage, the color palette, typography or font choice, imagery style, and then of course the voice and tone. If you can incorporate all those things into a brand guideline, or at least get those items before you go into design and development, you'll be all set. Thank you all for checking out the video. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below, and I will see y'all next week. Peace.